represented and making sure that things were done. And he was always a joy to be around. We knew that at every Christmas time we got Chili's chili, which was always a treat to have. But he was just a wonderful person, a wonderful friend, and I look forward to seeing him the year after.
My name is Bob Vukanovich. I've known Chili now for, I don't know, 15 plus years. I got to know Chili out at Cascade Little League. Chili was a very special human being. I was very fortunate to call him my friend. It's amazing that everybody I know. Chili was one individual who, whenever I asked Chili for something, he never said no. 15 plus years, never said no. That doesn't mean he always got everything done when he said he would. But he never said no. But Chili was a special human being. He like Craig said, he called Craig pastor. I'm an attorney. He'd call me counselor. The problem was when he called me up and we say, "So counselor," I knew I was in trouble right at that point. And then it was even worse when Chili said, "No, this is hypothetical."
Oh, yes, that's the disclaimer.
I said, "Okay, Chili." But Chili loved to push things to the utmost. He tried to go all the way to the line if he could with things. He'd call me up, because I was president of Cascade Little League. He'd call me up and say, "Now, you know, on Rule 31, it says we can do this. What do you think if I do this?" And I said, "Chili, if I say Chili, not going to happen. That's not how I read it, Chili. Not going to happen." He'd go away. But sure enough, I know he'd call me back. Half hour later. "Now, you know, I was thinking about that. What if we do it this way?" And if I told Chili ever, I said, "Chili, you know, I think I could defend that argument, Chili. I can handle that." That's all he needed to hear. He was like a kid in a candy store. That's what he was going to do. There was one time when Chili, because he was pushing it to the line, we were playing in All-Stars, Junior All-Stars. And Chili was the manager. And at that time, the Little League had a rule where you couldn't manage or coach another league if you were going to do a managing All-Stars. And somebody made the accusation that Chili was coaching some Babe Ruth team or something. I forgot exactly what it was. And so they called us up into the room up in, this was out at Columbia Little League, and Chili was just adamant. No, it didn't happen. And the district was saying, no, we're not sure. This is what somebody said. And so I finally told Chili, you got to stay with me up here. You can't go down on the field and manage these boys today. You got to stay with me. We're going to watch it from up here. Oh, I have never seen Chili as mad as he was that day, because he loved his boys. He loved to coach. And but I knew when it came to push to shove, Chili would figure out some way to coach these kids, because he turned the management over to Ted Lawson. And we watched from upstairs in Columbia. We watched the game, and the last play of the game, all I remember was you could see Chili. And to this day, Chili would never admit what he did or didn't do. All I remember is that there was a young man who went to the men's room, and Chili excused himself for 5 minutes and left the building. And all I know is the last play of the game, Chili had a play that was called Fox, and I think it was Fox and the Head Hound or something like that. Head Hounds, yes. And somehow the boys knew to pull that play off. They won that game at districts. I looked at Chili, and Chili says, "I didn't say anything." But that was Chili Taylor. And I will always love Chili. And he will always be in my heart. And rest in peace, Chili.
Take the video down. Swap the image. Yeah, it says
I don't want to be up here, but I agree with Chili. I know Chili when Cascade Little League, and one year, well, decided to go to Hawaii. Everybody decided to go up to the mountain with Miller, Kirk, Miller, and my husband ideas to go riding down the mountain. So everybody went. Julie and I and Lola decided we're not going to be part of this crazy ride. I don't know how to ride a bike. Julie can't. Lola don't want to do it. So the three of us decided we're not going, so we're going to stay behind. So I ride with Lola and Julie. We ride the car all the way up. And as we going up to the mountain, Julie was going too fast on the zigzag. If you know me, you don't want to shake this chair. I get car sick so easy. So he going too fast because I said, Julie, don't do that. And Lola said, yeah, don't do that. But she was going too fast and I got car sick and I got upset, so I told him, William, stop it. And he goes, uh-oh, you're calling me my real name. I said, yeah, because you're making me mad. And he goes, I know, ma'am, I will stop it. And then I said, to me, I said, I can only say that because he's my friend. Call you real name. And the second one is, on the way to the hospital, David and I, my husband, riding in the elevator to go see him. We go into the elevator, and this guy, his look like Chili brother, full beard, everything, his jacket and all that, with a young man with him is probably 19 or 18 years old. We're inside the elevator, and I, of course, me, I was not shy, so I said, are you Chili brother? And the guy didn't move. I said, are you Chili brother? The second, and he just glanced at me like that. Not knowing, and there's a guy on our right side, tall guy. No way look like Chili. And then he said, I am. And I looked at him, I go, and I look at him, I look at Dave, my husband, I said, he's joking. I said, maybe it's his lawyer. With the guy in front of us looked like Chili. You know. Then I realized the next day, I said, Chili said goodbye to me today in a different form, a different person. I love you, Chili. Thanks for saying goodbye to me today.
First met Chili. He, I don't know if he was asked or what, but was decided to coach because we were short on coaches that year. It was the first year we had expanded juniors to be 13 and 14-year-olds. And that's how I came to know Chili. Coached along with my dad. We've all been family friends ever since. I was fortunate enough to have him for 3 or 4 seasons. Coached me into Babe Ruth. Not the same year. Maybe not the same year. And my greatest story I ever remember about him was that year we were all freshmen playing against these juniors and seniors in Babe Ruth. And we went 9 for 45, I think, for the year. We played 50 games and won 9 of them. I remember to this day playing a doubleheader out in Castle Rock. I'm having a rough day on the mound, and he walks out. It's about the 5th inning. I figure I'm done for. I go over to hand him the ball, and he just looks at me and goes, "Where do you want to go for lunch?" And I just stared at him. I looked at the catcher, dumbfounded. Had no idea how to respond to that, and that's something that Chili always was. he was always that balance for me as a coach. He was always the guy who reminded me that it's just a game and that you can fail, but get back up, because you never know how great you can succeed. And that's the thing I'll always remember about Chip.
Okay, I failed my speech class in high school, so I'm not speaking up here, so let's just go with this one.
Two games.
My name is Brett. I was the son of his best friend. So I'm 33. I've known Chili 33 years. The stories of them playing softball.
Oops. Track star.
Just growing up and the fun times they had and the things they did, the stories, the times they hung out. I remember Chili just still saying, "I changed your diapers in that truck. You better not give that truck away." Gosh darn it, I still have that truck.
The red and white
The
one?
best times growing up was just to spend time with Chili and Brian and Billy and Karen.
Sorry.
I couldn't wait to go to my dad's for the weekends. It's like, oh, we going to Vancouver so we can see everybody every single weekend. And we did. And I'm glad he got to spend time with his friend, and I got to spend time with mine. And of course, then we were playing, and then we always had to bring Zach around because he was, I come play too. Take your brother. So, but I remember even on campouts, we had one stick to Yakima for a soccer tournament. And we went to bed. Ryan was like, "Hey, that's it." Yeah, they're snoring. So they're like sneaking out. And the next morning, they're like, "Oh, they know." Of course, I never let that down. Remember we snuck out at the campsite, and so I never let that one down. But playing softball, I couldn't wait till Chili came to one of my games. It was fun, but you know, going 4-for-4 and you hit a double and home run or whatever. Have a great game. You can't wait for it. Like, we talk to Chili because like, yeah, he's gonna say something awesome. He's like, yeah, that strike on that curveball, you know, gotta go the other way with that one. You kind of small, you missed. Never failed it. He always can do better, and he's the one who always taught that. Then, growing up, I can always remember one thing that I don't know if everybody else had this or just like my dad and I. What time's Chili gonna be here? Well, what time did you say? 5? Did you tell him 4? Call him. He's not answering. Oh, weird. A couple hours go by, he'll show up. Hey, like nothing's wrong. What I meant, like, hey, what's wrong? And everybody's like, where were you? Oh, and he'll make up the story and be like, what? What's going on here? What's going on here? But I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm actually pretty good with the speech. But growing old it's one of those amazing things. You get to see relationships, people that he touched, the people that we'll never forget. We'll never forget him. And I know he'll always like this, but the Cubs will win the World Series one day. And he'll be just dancing in the heavens. Oh, another one quick story, but last thing. You know, I grew up and my dad and Chili always went to the Wood Chicken, and they always had beers, and every single time we grew up in North Portland, oh, there's Wood Chicken. I was like, oh man, I want to stop by there. I just want to stop by there. I always hear these stories to them and all the good times and fun times they had. Well, I've never been there. I've always wanted to go. But I will now, buddy. Love you. Okay?
My name is Kirk Miller. I'd be remiss if I didn't get up here. I think Chili would be a little upset if I didn't. You know, Joe Madden said, coach of the Cubs, after he lost or after they won in Pittsburgh, he said the process is fearless. So Logan doesn't really know the whole story, but we were going to Babe Ruth because he had a coach that was trying to teach him as a 6 foot, 130-pound kid how to throw a curveball. And I said, we're gonna find a new coach. We had a vice president of the league that came up and said, I'll find a guy for you. I'm like, okay. He says, but you gotta be the assistant coach. I said, I'm not a coach. Never played. He goes, I got a guy for you. So we show up at the draft night. This little guy walks in. I'm like, that's the guy? And of course he looks at me and he says, so you know these kids, right? I go, yeah. And he goes, well, you know the names of who's good? I go, no. I couldn't match names up to people. He says, we're going to do two things. If they can catch and if they can run, we're going to draft them. So we drafted this team, and people come up and start doing trades at the end. And Chili trades away our first draft pick, our second draft pick, our third draft pick. I'm like, what are you doing? And later we go out, and that year the field was under construction. And we go out to this gorse field that's got nothing in it. Now it's the soccer field that's all redone. And he starts having the kids line up and do these drills, and I'm just like, what is going on? 17 years later, I realized the process is fearless. He was teaching the kids about a process of winning, a process of becoming. I have no clue why I'm up there shaking, because he wouldn't like that. So I'll talk about the Fox and the Hen House a little bit. I'll finish with a couple what I consider funny stories. So we coached, one of the things Chili would say, is a couple things, is he'd put me on third base and tell me to pull it. Well, when we got to coaching Zach and Craig's son were some of the larger kids on the team. And if you understand what the Fox and the Hen House is, you put a guy on third base and you have him get ready to steal, and the guy that's at home plate spreads his legs wide and he goes sliding right through his feet. Again, as Bob said, it was one of those rules that we figured out that we could pull, and we just do it. And I'll remember the first game that we were standing there, and I forget which, if it was Zach or if it was your son Craig that was on third base, and he goes, pull it. And I'm looking at him going, we gotta have a fast kid. The key was he was focused on the process. Today, these kids those two boys specifically are probably some of the leanest, fittest athletes that came off that team. Just amazing. The other thing that I think today, and I've thought about this, you know, I say, kid was tearing up. We had plenty of that on our team, I don't know why. They would be crying a little bit, or if they would just get mad, he'd say, come on kid, give me a wink and a wiggle. And if you ever coached with him, he probably said that 5 times a game. So I think today that's what Chili would say to us. Even though we're sad, you know we're going to miss him. Give it a wink and a wiggle.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm TJ Rhodes. I was with Chili for a little bit.
Media.
I remember, like Ray, the first time I met Chili, I was coaching a different team. He was coaching the Twins. This was majors. I was coaching the Braves. And it's the final game of the season. We're up by a run. It's the bottom of the, I think, 7th inning, because we only play 7 inning. We were out in the field. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd, but there were 2 outs. And I'm pretty sure it was Zach was up to the plate. And there's a hit to the infield. My fielder fields it cleanly, throws it to first base. Zach steps on my first baseman's leg, or by accident. The ball goes flying in the outfield, 2 runs score, and we end up losing the game. Of course, I come unglued, I run out and yell at the umpire. It's interference, he stepped on my player. Chili comes out, he argues. Well, the first baseman was in the path. Of course, Chili won, as he usually did. So we took 4th place. They got 3rd. Zach, I still owe you for that one, buddy. Chili loved baseball. I coached with him for a few years after that, and juniors and seniors. And his love for baseball was minuscule compared to the love he had for his players, the boys. Like Logan mentioned, his team won 9 games out of 44 or 50. I think when I coached with Chili, we actually won 8 less. That's because Chili always wanted the boys to play older boys. He never wanted to play at our level. He wanted stiffer competition. So we always played teams that were a year or 2 years older. And we got our butts kicked a lot, but that didn't matter. That wasn't what was important. There's a saying that goes, good is the enemy of the great. And what that means is if you're satisfied just being a good player, you'll never be great. And that was what Chili was teaching me. So, excuse me. I know my son is a greater young man for knowing Chili and playing for him. I know I'm a better man, just like Craig mentioned. I know there's a lot of young men out there that are better for knowing Chili. So, rest in peace.
Yeah, that's what you do because they go through.
Chili's my brother-in-law and my sister Paula. And every September I get a call. I'm younger than you are. So he had a fantastic sense of humor and he was very well loved.